The year was 2014 when I had the first in a series of dreams. All the dreams were the same. They started in the same place and they ended in the same place. Over the last 6 years, I've had this dream at least 13 times. In the dream, there was darkness, and in the darkness, the piercing sounds of sirens were going off. Armoured tankers rolled through the streets and cannons boomed. I and my family ran through the bush to get away from the war and chaos around us. What could this dream mean? Why did I have this same dream several times? Joseph told Pharaoh in Genesis 41 verse 32 that Pharaoh's dream was doubled because the thing is established by God, and God will surely bring it to pass. I had this dream at least 13 times between 2014 and 2019. Initially, I believed that the dream meant that the election that brought Buhari into office in 2014 would lead to war. I told family and friends of my dreams and warned people to leave the country, that there would be bloodshed during the elections. Some heeded my advice and traveled out, but when the elections came and went and there was no war, they called me a false prophet. The dreams continued, but I just ignored them. Then around the 9th or 10th of June 2016, I had a different dream. I dreamed that I was driving with my wife somewhere in the north in a G-Wagon and that we were attacked and captured by Boko Haram type people. I told my wife about this dream, but I guess she was already used to my dreams, so we didn't pay much attention to the dream. A little over a week later, on the 18th of June 2016, my wife and I went to a farm in Minna, and on our way back to Abuja, we ran smack into an attack by Boko Haram or bandits. I can't tell the difference, and they don't wear ID cards or uniforms. There were about 11 of them, and they had stopped traffic on both sides of the road, and you could see scattered luggage on the road. I initially thought it was a police checkpoint until I noticed some people were being headed into the bush and cars were making a U-turn trying to get away. By the time I realized what was going on, I was about 40 meters from these people who were shooting at us. I put the car into reverse, pushed my wife's head down onto my lap and pressed the pedal, but the almighty G-Wagon refused to cooperate. It was stalling and moving slowly. I saw some of these murderers jump down from the little rock they were perched on and start running towards us with guns blazing. My wife was screaming her head off and biting my leg, shouting, "Move, move!" as if I didn't want to move. Women are really funny. Did she think I wanted to be caught? All I was thinking of was the fact that her dad had passed on some days before that, and I couldn't afford to let her be hurt or get captured. I just started shouting, "Jesus, Jesus, Jesus." Then the next thing, the car jumped and showed that it was a real monster. I reversed for almost 100 meters before I spun round and sped back towards Minna. Not one bullet touched us, not one. It later dawned on me that my dream of last week had come to pass. Same car, same clothes, same northern Nigeria, but we're not captured like we were in my dream. Then God told me that this was for me to know that my dreams will surely come to pass. In Genesis 41, 46 to 49, we are told how Joseph prepared for the manifestation of Pharaoh's dream. And Joseph was 30 years old when he stood before Pharaoh, king of Egypt. And Joseph went out from the presence of Pharaoh and went throughout all the land of Egypt. And in the 7 plenteous years, the earth brought forth by handfuls. And he gathered up all the food of the 7 years, which were in the land of Egypt, and laid up the food in the cities. The food of the field, which was round about every city, laid he up in the same. And Joseph gathered corn as the sand of the sea, very much, until he left numbering, for it was without number. In my own case, I packed up my family and ran to America, away from the war I felt was imminent. Buhari's government seemed to have given impetus to headsmen to go on a killing spree. IPOB started agitating again, especially as it seemed most appointments favored only the northern part of Nigeria. I felt it was only a matter of time before civil war started, so America seemed like the best bet, and America we went. It seemed like the perfect plan until one Donald J. Trump was inaugurated on the 20th of January 2017 as the 45th President of America. Then, wahala came to town. This man became the president by selling hatred and fear. He said openly what a lot of his supporters believed but couldn't say openly. It seemed like his presidency spelt doom for the black man and would usher in a third world war. I then thought that my dream of war and chaos was meant to happen in America. So I had to choose between the possibility of a war in America that will probably be fought with nuclear and chemical weapons, or one that will be fought in Nigeria with AK-47s. I chose Nigeria, and we moved back. In all of this, I never thought to ask God for a Joseph to interpret my dreams, or to ask God to show me what my dreams meant. Hence, I couldn't really make any plans like Joseph did. Then we are told of the manifestation of Pharaoh's dreams, and the 7 years of death began to come, according as Joseph had said. And the death was in all lands, but in all the land of Egypt there was bread. And when all the land of Egypt was famished, the people cried to Pharaoh for bread. And Pharaoh said unto all the Egyptians, Go unto Joseph, what he said to you, do. And the famine was over all the face of the earth. And Joseph opened all the storehouses and sold unto the Egyptians. And the famine waxed sore in the land of Egypt. And all countries came into Egypt to Joseph for to buy corn, because that the famine was so sore in all lands. Last year, my dreams became more frequent, and I started telling more people about it. I also started praying and fasting more, and then God sent someone my way. This was someone I had known for years, but had not seen him for some time. In the course of a conversation, I told him about my dreams, and he told me about his. His dreams seemed to begin where mine ended. He told me about the importance of keeping a detailed record of my dreams. He told me not to run from an assignment God had given me, especially if it will save lives. He helped me understand my dreams and opened my eyes to what I was seeing. I saw COVID-19. Therefore, just as through one man sin entered the world, and death through sin, and thus death spread to all men, because all sinned. There's chaos all over the world. There's a pandemic that has killed over 600,000 people globally, and is still killing many more. There's no cure in sight. Famine is looming. The heart of man has become desperate and wicked, and rumors of war abound. The dream of Pharaoh was for all the lands, and not just Egypt. The famine was over all the face of the earth. Dreams are meant to warn you or help you prepare. In the case of my dreams, is it too late? Are we in a time of planning and preparation, or are we already in the manifestation stage? Several times in Genesis, we are told that the famine waxed sore. Several times. Meaning it got progressively worse. And then money failed, and the people sold themselves for food. What can we do? What should we do? We'll look at this next week. Neither is there salvation in any other, for there's none other name under heaven given among men, whereby we must be saved. His name is Jesus. Don't run away from him. The dirtier you are, the better. I can testify he will save you, he will heal you, he will provide for you, and all because he loves you. Don't wait another minute. Talk to him now. God bless you all.